All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Something for the Culture. I am your host, Jazzy J. And tonight we got two special guests. Y'all, none other than, Stacks from the Doe Show and Cooking with Doe. He always comes on the culture, gracing his presence every now and again.
Thanks
And
for
then we
having me.
have legendary Andre, aka Dres from Black Sheep. Welcome to the culture.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Could you just tell us who you are, where you came from, for the people who don't know who you are?
Okay. Well, my name is Dres. I'm from a hip hop group called Black Sheep, and
The legendary Black Sheep.
I
Right.
uh been blessed to be able to be a part of this collective called the Native Tongue. The Native Tongue consists of De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Jungle Brothers, Queen Latifah, Moni Love, Chi Ali, and the likes. And we were like kind of the black sheep of the family, and we released our first project in 1990. Going into 91, and you might have heard some of the songs as Flavor of the Month, The Choice Is Yours, Strobe Light Honey, Similac, what have you. Since then, we released a second album on a major label, and it was at a funny time in music as far as just a lot of the labels at that time. I think we kind of got caught up in the shuffle of a lot of labels being bought by Universal, and all of the majors kind of came into play, and we were one of the groups that might not have got some of the push that we might have got initially. I don't think we really got the second time, but it's all good. Everything for a reason. The group kind of disbanded, and I kind of went my own separate way and started learning how to become an independent artist.
Okay.
And I started my own label called Pool of Genius, and since those days, I've released probably about 4 independent projects on my own. Like the Short Shot Redemption, AWM, Novocaine, from the Black Pool of Genius, and Torch Soul. I actually as well did an album with Jerobi from a Tribe Called Quest under the moniker Evertan. Evertan is native spelled backwards. And I have a website called poolofgenius.com. You could cop all of that stuff there. A bunch of videos for you to check out you might have never seen, but some really cool stuff. And I'm in a position today where I still do a lot of shows all over the world. And I was blessed to meet Jay Dilla's mom the year before last. And we kind of hit it off, me, her, and her husband. And they had recently gotten back the rights to a lot of Dilla's music back under the umbrella of the estate. And they were looking for a few things to do with the music, and they asked would I be interested in putting a project together from his personal, which I was blown away, and took all of 2020 to put this album together. Right. And it's a really special, very special album, very timely album. Has features by the likes of Bun B, CeeLo Green, Freeway, to Jay Sands, to Chi Ali, to Myson, to Del Funky Homo Sapien. I mean, Afro, Lil T, Source Money. It's a really dope project, and the reason it's the title of the album is called No Words, and the reason it's called No Words is because the older artists. A lot of times you hear older artists trying to tell a younger artist about what the golden era was like and what have you. Our era was so special because, and in my opinion, it's something you got to show them. You know what I'm saying? Like I could show you, but I tell you. So it's no word. This is the album you give to a younger cat if you want them to experience what it felt like to put on some head, go somewhere else.
You show them the action.
And for us, for those that know what it is, this is just something else to throw into your collection that you can reach to, you know what I'm saying, when you want to hear something that's dope. That's all.
How do you feel about today's hip hop?
I feel a couple of different ways about it. Artistically, I feel like the bars definitely I wouldn't even say been lowered. I would say it's been dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like it literally fell on the ground. And I think hip hop or rap music for that matter has become a hustle. Much more so than an artistic endeavor. You know, cats don't really do their homework because it isn't quality. It isn't required. You know what I'm saying? point that anybody could do it. You know what I'm saying? You could do it from your bathroom, you know what I'm saying, with an app. You know, so there's a lot of white noise out there as far as just the artistry. But I have to give props to the younger generation when it comes to business aesthetics. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Young cats have learned how to monetize in a way that wasn't even available to us.
Social media.
Yeah, all of the above. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
relationships, their branding, they got partnerships. They're
Yeah.
doing all kinds of things that it's unfortunate, but they don't realize everything that it took for them to be able to do that. You know,
And
like
and they don't show respect to the elders like they should.
yeah,
Right.
definitely. But it's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? I think our approach sometimes can be a little overbearing. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has to be something where we meet each other halfway. But like I said, the thing that they're missing, we have in spades, the artistry. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And but there's also a lot that we can learn from them, just as far as the business aesthetics. So
Yeah.
there's a reason for us to sit at a table without question. You know what I'm saying? And and it's definitely for them to understand how they got this opportunity, why they have this opportunity, the people that came before them that made this opportunity possible. Like I
Right.
come from a place where we only got hip hop music on the weekends at night. You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes, a younger cat wouldn't know that, number one. And sometimes we take that for granted because it's everywhere now.
Right.
He's on TV, loving hip hop, mom in hip hop, dad, like all the above in hip hop is there. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's coming from a place where we only got it on the weekends at night. We record off the radio, and that was our hip hop for the week. You know what I'm saying? Like literally. And we've seen it grow from that. But a young cat doesn't understand all that it took for it to become what it is.
They don't know nothing about having to stuff that tape to record your
Oh, a
favorite
question.
stuff.
Or
Right.
yeah, splicing the tape together with some scotch tape, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't want to
Right.
lose
Right.
lose all of that music. Like all of the above, you know what I'm saying? And like, and there's also a reason why I'm gonna say a couple of things. There's also a reason why they're with that. Somebody at some point inspired them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if not for that alone, you know what I'm saying, show a certain amount of humility. But secondly, like they said, the presidents where it's like, like I don't mess with them older dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like them older dudes, I don't mess with that type of beat and this and the other.
Yeah.
Not taking into consideration that attention spans are really short these days.
Very.
Yeah.
So
Very.
in 5 years, if you're fortunate, you're the older dude. You know what I'm saying? And you've got a set of presidents where the cat that's under you don't mess with them older dudes. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, you know what I'm saying, by leading by example and saying to your fan base, yo, let me introduce y'all to the cats that inspired me.
See,
Let me
hip
put
hop
them
is one of
on,
the only genres that push the older artists out. Hip hop is
Yeah.
one of the
and
only
a lot of
genres
times,
Yeah.
that do
not even
that.
that far away from them. You know what I'm saying? Like their
Right.
inspirations aren't that far away from them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
See,
Right.
they
but
forget we came up on hip hop too. That's the
right,
soundtrack to our lives. Also, you can't push us out
Exactly.
of something that we were raised on. Also,
right.
Right.
Real
so
talk. But you gotta be the adult in the room sometimes.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's easy for them not to do their homework if they don't, that's the cop out. I don't mess with them older dudes.
right,
That's them saying, like don't hold me to any form of any form of
right,
me having to explain to you why I'm here, how I
right,
got here.
or
Yeah.
or why I do this way.
Right.
Right.
It's a cop out of sort. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we gotta hold them everyone, like everyone should be accountable to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get twisted. An artist is allowed to be an artist that grows. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be everything you are today. You
Right,
know what I'm saying? God knows a lot of us weren't, myself
Right.
included. You
true.
know, but at the same time, you do have to be headed in the right direction.
Right,
If you go 100 miles quickly, it doesn't matter if you're going in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? You'd rather go a mile in
or
the
you
right.
driving in circles.
Right.
Right.
So so back to what I was saying, like set the precedence that like I do mess with them older cats. You know what I'm saying? Like because that's you in 5 years. You're the
Right,
older cat, and you want to set it where like where as a community we're moving together, like like the divide and conquer aspect of who we are. This is ours. That doesn't belong here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And don't get it twisted. It's already competitive, but even as competitors, we still family. You know
Right. We
what
still
I'm
gotta
saying?
have
Like
a certain general
we
respect
got
for
to
one
look at
another.
each other and see family and not foe. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
So let me ask you, what do you think? Do you think that the message has been lost within hip hop over time?
Mm, to a degree, yeah. Hip hop was something that spoke to the masses. It spoke truth to power.
Hmm.
Um, we've gotten to a place where we've allowed the powers that be to diminish our voices
Hmm.
for an agenda.
Hmm.
The agenda really being um
Give it to them.
privatized prisons and things of that nature. There's things that's above our head. I'm gonna give you an example.
Hmm.
When I was on Mercury Records, Mercury is a major label.
Hmm.
Mercury is owned by Polygram, which is a bigger label.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Polygram was owned by Philip Slight. Now, at the end of
I'm
the
in it
day,
now.
Philip Slight doesn't care about what I'm doing as Black Sheep.
You care
Hmm.
about the
They
bottom
only
line.
care about what's the bottom line. Did he make us money or did he not make us money? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's it. Like subject matter, it doesn't matter. So so this is what I'm saying, that there's agendas above our head. You know what I'm
Hmm.
Right.
saying? To say, like, right now in the world, prisons are privatized. They're on the
Yep.
stock market, the whole nine. People are getting rich off of keeping prisons full
Right.
all over our country. Um, at the end of the day, whose children are going to be in these prisons?
I was.
Who are they going to
Ours.
put in these prisons? Period. They're making like 40, 50, $60,000 a year off of each inmate. You know what I'm saying? Literally,
Right.
just being there. You know what I'm saying? And you only get it if the prisons stay full. So how are we gonna keep it full? Well, we're gonna diminish everything that might tell them better, and we're gonna push the agenda of things that lead them right here. So to a
They
degree,
weaponized hip hop with gangster rap.
without
They
question.
they weaponized
Right.
hip hop with gangster rap. That's
And
how you guys with your smart hip hop got ushered out. Well, not ushered out, but pushed back
Push
a
to the
little bit
back.
because
yeah,
once the NWAs and stuff started coming in, they're like, okay, we
Hmm.
can weaponize that. That's
Right.
not teaching anything. They aren't wearing college HBCU shirts. They are teaching. We can
Right.
weaponize that,
right. And
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 and we
and
all know they're gonna follow the dollar.
that's the point exactly.
Right.
That's Philip Slight. You know what I'm saying? Philip Slight don't care about the agenda of the label. Keep the prisons full. You know what I'm saying? That's what we kept.
Right,
And it wasn't
right.
as bad when we had the variety. You know what I'm saying? Because variety was offering options. You know what I'm saying? Like NWA isn't as toxic if it's next to Chuck D. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And
Right,
and
right.
like because NWA exists, and it's not like it doesn't exist. But
Right.
when it becomes you know the a full dose of NWA next to a diminished dose of NWA next to a watered down version of what I'm saying, like we're
Hmm.
just getting
Right.
different parallels of the same. and and and
Same. Yeah.
and like, yeah, there's some of that does exist, but most of it doesn't. And most of the
Hmm.
artistry that's there is really the copy of a blueprint that they think is
Hmm.
successful. The kids think
Copy
that
and paste.
right.
Right.
The kids think by digging a ditch, like if the label says dig a ditch, the kids are gonna dig a ditch. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's only when they're in the ditch up to their chest that they realize, oh shit, this ditch is for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's kind of too late
Right.
then. So we've got to be sharp enough as a community. Like, I'm not blaming the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, the kids are just being
We got to start
kids.
holding these labels accountable, man.
Right.
Right.
Everybody, radio stations, all of the
Yeah.
above. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we got to
Yeah.
start putting back, taking a lot of power out of DJs' hands. DJs were responsible for introducing new music. We're responsible for keeping
Break
it a
on the record.
variety.
Yeah.
For everything they played that was to the left, they played something to the right, played something up the middle. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
introduce new music. But now everything is basically, the same, structured, the same,
Same
sync
formula.
playlists. Yeah, the same playlist exists all over the country now. So they've taken a lot of power
Everybody's
out of
sampling
DJs'
it now
hands,
too.
even locally. You know, right? Even locally, DJs were able to play who was hot locally and help bring
Mhm.
up the home team. You know, they've taken away
Right.
so many things that made us better, that made the music better. You know, and it's gotten to the point where when we was younger, you were dope because you sounded like nobody.
Right.
These
Right.
days, you're dope because you sound just like someone. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And
Right.
you know, like we've got to get it back to the place where the artistry, where the bar
Originality
is
should matter.
raised, and we're learning and we're seeing, you know, our society being spoken to. How many people are really speaking to what we're walking out here? You don't
Right.
hear much of
Right.
that, you know. But it should all
Nah.
exist
See all
because
the glitz and glamour. You ain't
all of
hearing
that
the hard
is
shit.
Right.
right. But that's where the soul's at. That's where Curtis
Yeah.
Mayfield is.
Mhm.
That's where Marvin Gaye is. You know what I'm saying? That's where Barry White is. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
all of that shit exists in our music. You know, they've Milli Vanilli'd us to death. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but these conversations are the conversations that make a difference. And I got a project that's coming, you know, like this D&D project. It's one of those projects, like I
Okay.
said, no words. Like, ain't nothing I need to tell you. You can put this next to anything, and it'll speak for itself. You know, I
Gotcha.
got a really, really special project coming.
So speaking about the project, can you tell us what we can expect on it?
It'll be early summer. You know,
Okay.
now just really there's a couple of things that I had to kind of revamp on the project just because of what it is. It's it's taken from Dilla's catalog, which has kind of been like just
I was gonna ask about the
it
production.
seems like everyone in the world is a Dilla head. You know what I'm saying? So certain songs had licensing issues that I wasn't aware of. So there's a
Mhm.
couple of
Okay.
things that had to kind of be revamped and what have you. And just really finishing up everything now about the master everything. And there's also a mini documentary about the making of the project that's going to be coming along with the project. So I would say within the next month or two, everything will be wrapped up on my side, and then maybe a month or two after that, it'll be released. So I would say I'm looking at a May June release.
Got you.
Okay.
You got
So
any
how
features
does
or
I'm
production?
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was asking about the production or features on it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the entire thing is produced by Jay Dilla. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And me my man my well I recorded it at DITC Studios, which is my brother's show business studio, and
Mhm.
my man
Digging
Pete
in the
Weiser,
crates.
who's just a hip hop extraordinaire, did the mixing for me. And
Mm.
like I said, I've got features from like Bun B to Freeway to Chuck D, um some really special joints, man. My man Dell. I got my man Jalil Shaw playing sax on it. I got another brother by the name of Alexander Simone, who's the grandson of Nina Simone, singing on it.
Mm.
Um, it's really a dope project, man. Chi Ali, Maison, my man Source Money and Source did some phenomenal work. CeeLo Green kills some stuff on there. It's really dope.
That sounds like you got some hitters on there, man.
Right.
Yeah, for sure, man. I really do. And like I said, and everybody kind of realizing that it's Dilla really put their best foot forward, man. Like it's a dope project. Word up.
Right.
You know, it reminds me like the first album, when we did a Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, we finished and we're listening to it in the studio. I turned to my dude Long and I'm like, like, I don't know what we just did, but I know we just did something. And that's how
Right.
I feel about this project. It's like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know something's about to happen,
Something's
you know.
gonna happen.
And
So
that's a
how
good
does
feeling.
this project differ from your Black Sheep projects and everything you have done in the past?
Um, well, I think it's still me. Is like I think I've always kind of been exceptional at writing songs, which is different than writing verses. You know what I'm saying? Like a Hot 16 is cool, but
Mhm.
there's a difference between a Hot 16 and a hot record. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Right.
There's a lot of MCs that are dope that don't make dope songs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think I've always been exceptional at making dope songs. And that's there's a skill to it. So I feel like I definitely brought that to the table. The subject matter is all relevant and all things that we can relate to as people, and even give some insight to those that haven't experienced things yet. You know how some of the best albums you kind of when you're growing up, like you kind of wind up bumping into some of the things that they're speaking to. I feel like it's gonna offer some of those characteristics. And then there's Jay Dilla. Like there's, like Dilla literally, saying like he probably could bump his head, and it have soul in it. Like this dude is just so special as a producer. So
Yeah.
like the project itself is very warm, is very percussion strong, you know what I'm saying, and it's very soulful, and I think
That's
it's
what's
gonna
needed.
resonate with a lot of people that are really purists, but at the same time, I think is that it's so soulful that it's just gonna pull in music lovers, you know what I'm saying, like of every genre.
So, what's the message that you would want your fans to receive from this upcoming project?
For real, that 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 we still here, you know what I'm saying, that like at the end of the day, like I know as we get older, sometimes our music, the things that spoke to us is kind of harder to find, you know what I'm saying, and sometimes like some people try to force themselves into other platforms or what have you that might not necessarily resonate with their soul or even who they are as people, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
but all of that is there. Sometimes it just has to be sought a little bit, and this is definitely a nod for for a cat that might be a little seasoned like myself. Like I said, as we get older, it's like the platforms diminish a little bit, but they shouldn't. Like hip hop's the only ones that do that. Like in rock
Yeah,
and roll, the Rolling
Right.
Stone, they still sell out stadiums, or in
yeah,
jazz, that's when you're really who you're supposed to be. And like I put it like this: if I took karate for 20 years, you know what I'm saying, I'm a third degree black. I'm a master. I can teach and all the above. If I cook for 20 years, I'm a master chef.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sought by all the finest restaurants. If I was a 20-year mechanic, I'm a master mechanic. You know what I'm saying? I can fix an engine from nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm overqualified. It's the same in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm dead nice. I've been around the world more times than most people have, you know, teeth. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And and performing it. And I've been Dres of Black Sheep longer than I haven't at this point.
Right.
So I know what I'm doing. I'm a master chef. I made something for you to taste. You know, I fixed your car. I want you to take a test drive. You know what I'm saying? I I taught you how to bust his ass. Go kick his ass. I done taught you in karate class. You
Mm-hmm.
good? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, like that's what I bring to the table as an MC. I don't need someone to tell me what I'm about to offer you. It,
Right.
it's really special.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's really special. I know because
You,
I've
you got
taken the time to
experience
learn
spin whipping that
these and
car.
this and walk this. It's real.
Right.
So that said, you know what I'm saying? I hope everybody chooses to definitely keep their ears open for D&D, Dylan, Dres. Stay in touch with me. I'm on IG at Black Sheep Dres. I'm on Twitter at Dres Black Sheep. I also have the website where you can check out some of my solo projects from the past, a bunch of videos. There's merch on the Black Sheep shirt at poolofgenius.com, poolofgenius.com. And I'm very grateful for you guys for having me on the platform. You know what I'm saying? Let me
Thank you.
chop it up and tell y'all about the new. And I hope I get to come back when it comes out.
Thank you, man. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I do want to ask this though. How do you feel about being, basically everybody looks at you as a legend, an icon. I mean, how does that feel for people to look at you in that light?
How's it feel to be a living legend?
Right.
You know what? To be honest with you, like I don't really get caught up in that. Like I'm fortunate. Like I'm probably one of the luckiest cats that I know. You know what I'm saying? But like I got I got kids. You know what I'm saying? Old lady. You know what I'm saying? Like I got family. Like that keeps you pretty grounded because
Mhm.
Right.
like don't nothing matter to them. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
to them,
Right.
you're dead.
you know
Right, you
Yeah,
dead
yeah,
and
like
hubby. That's who you
you
are.
ain't
Yeah,
legendary
yeah. When the
Dres
garbage gotta go out,
for
the
that.
garbage gotta go out.
Right.
It
To
ain't like
everybody else, you're an icon,
like
but they like, Dad, come
like
on.
Jesus
Right,
coming through. Yeah, right. I gotta go to drugstore. I gotta go to drugstore. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, and I can get yelled at for not changing the light bulb in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that really. That's not in my day to day. And
Right.
like I said, I'm grateful of people that appreciate the music,
Hmm.
but that doesn't give me any right to not be a good person. That
right,
doesn't give me any right to not care about the world. That doesn't give
Right.
me any right to be an adulterer or a bad father or any of the above. You know what I'm saying? So, I still bump my head as a man. And then as a
Right.
black man, there's a walk through your life that you better know how to move out here. You know what I'm
right,
saying? All of that still comes into play every single day. You know what I'm saying? So, someone having love for music that I'm grateful because, like I said, I love what I do. I'm one of the most fortunate people. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been able
mhm,
to do what I do and make a living at it. And feed my family most of my life just doing just being me. So
right,
that's beyond the blessing. I'm from Astoria Projects. You could have never told me that this would have been my life. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Even on the most simple of levels. Um, but that said, you know what I'm saying? Um, I know that there's still like some levels for me to attain personally as far as just my whole thing is I just want as many people to hear what I have to offer as possible. And that's
right,
really it. Like if you give me the opportunity to listen earnestly to anything that I'm presenting, then you're gonna come with me from there. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to bring as many people as I can with me. You know what I'm saying? So that when I put something out, that is just received. You know what I'm saying? And whatever comes with that comes with that. But I'm a grounded person, and I'll be able to deal with it. Everything's cool.
Now I have seen you doing, traveling a lot during this whole pandemic. Like you are everywhere. Like every time I turn around, you over here eating, or you over here doing this. Like, how does it feel like to be, still doing shows and doing all these venues and stuff during this whole pandemic?
Um, like really, like I said, like fortunate, and even in the pandemic, like everything in moderation. Like this was a real serious time. Globally, like what I'm saying, like especially living in New York, like like we caught it early and really, really bad. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and and it was unfortunate to watch the rest of the country not take it as seriously as we should have,
right,
because like yo, when it happened here in New York, man, like we were terrified because we didn't know what was going on. It was 700, 800 people dying every single day in New York.
yeah,
That shit was terrifying. So I don't know if I can curse. I'm sorry, but just say like so for other people to look at it like, oh, it might be a hoax and president not the one to wear mask, man. And we literally got the chance to see this thing happen to the entire country, like
Hmm.
no one really paid attention. So like these are different times in the world. So even moving around, back to what I'm saying, is like like everything is like really pay attention, know where you're going, know
yeah,
what the situation looks like where you're going. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, don't put yourself in bad situations. I mean, it's just real life stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna go to a crazy drug infested neighborhood with a bunch of medallions on your neck and by yourself. You know what I'm
hmm,
saying? Like
Right.
don't put yourself in situations you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like so like that being said, it's not like I'm just jumping up and going wherever they got some paper. Nah.
right.
You know what
You
I'm
be
saying? Like
selective.
if I feel right, if it makes sense, we'll make sense out of it. But if it doesn't,
Okay,
you got to stand firm on yours. And realize that, like even if a younger cat is gonna be okay. Like be responsible for your community, for your family. Your grandmother might not be okay. Your aunt, you know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, like be man, it gotta be a horrible feeling for a young cat to go to a party, come home and get their grandparents sick, man, and they don't make it. Like I can't even imagine.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like, took it
Right.
that seriously, because that's how
That's
serious it is. You know? Right.
I did want to ask you because about your relationship with Chi. I noticed that y'all are immensely close. Like it's like a whole big brother, little brother type situation. I just want to know, like, how did that form, and like, how has it evolved over the years?
Um, like it's kind of like like when me and Chi met, like he was really young, and like he used to spend a lot of time. He's from co-op, so Latifah lived in co-op with her dancers, so he used to hang out with them a lot. And so eventually he got cool with Chris Slightly, who was our first manager.
Hmm.
God bless Chris, he passed away. You just a
rest
strong
in
dude. Just say so Chris started having him come to the studio, and then in the studio, like with all of the natives, everybody started looking at him like, like he looks like a little Dres. And me and him just kind of hit it off. And he was a fly little dude, probably like 15, 16 years old, had about 300 pair of sneakers and alphanumeric beat, but like he was just a fly little cat. So it started that simple. And then, like he wanted to hang out with the different things that we were doing as the natives.
Hmm.
And, like he would always jump in my car, initially. And then, so
Hmm.
from there, him wanting to hang out now is like, I needed to meet his parents, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like I already seen like I was gonna be a little more responsible for him than everybody else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, like so I wanted to feel his family to feel comfortable if he's hanging out with me, that he's all right, this and the other. So when I meet his parents, like it was like we all just became family. Like they literally like his parents are cool with my parents, like it's like we're literally like family at this point. Like we're talking over 20 years now. And
Hmm.
Yeah.
and through the years it's evolved. So and Chi's life has evolved, you know what I'm saying? And you know, for better for worse, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my dude, you know what I'm saying? And that ain't gonna change, like that'll be my brother forevermore. Like and that's how we rock, you know what I'm saying? Like he's got brothers that that are, he's got blood brothers that he's related to
Hmm.
that are now my brothers. Like, you know what I'm saying, that I literally look at as family. And like I said, it's been over 20 years. So, you know, there's never anything that I'm doing that he's not invited, or that he's not a part of. Anything I could do for him to do, just like he was my family, because that's
Right.
how I look. You know.
He's also a real humble dude as well. When I met him, that had to been like 13 at the time,
All right,
and I was hanging with his cousins.
all right.
And this is like right before he turned himself in. It was actually that weekend.
Mm.
Because his aunt lived in Monroe housing.
Okay,
So, of course, when he came through, all the girls was crazy over him. He was still young.
no doubt.
Girls were everywhere. And, my memory of him is, he took me and his cousins, Crystal and Jessica, to the store,
All right,
very sweet guy. Didn't know at the time, he was actually, going through that situation that he was going on America's, most wanted.
right.
And I guess that was kind of like his way to, like spend his little last moments with his family before he turned himself in that Monday morning.
All right.
So, but
You know,
real nice dude,
she,
real great dude.
solid cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of my friends are just like that. Like good people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
Solid.
like I'm much more interested in the character of a person than the ability sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, cats look at it like, them having some paper, having some bands or whatever, like that gives them character. That doesn't give you character. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Money doesn't do anything but amplify who you are. So if
right,
you're a sucker with money. If you're a good person,
Be a
it's
good person.
almost like you're a better person because you got money. You know what I'm saying? Like you get a chance to kind of show that this doesn't make our relationship what it is. Paper
right.
doesn't make your relationship with somebody else what it is. And those that tend to have their relationships viewed through paper, they're usually paper thin. Word.
That's a good one. You had a question,
Good
Dale,
one.
for him?
Uh-uh.
So,
He preaching. I'm soaking this up.
yeah, yeah, like
All right.
this is well needed preaching right here, like
Yeah. I'm learning.
for
All right.
real. I just
Love is
want
love.
to know, like, with everything that we have went through in the past 4 years with Trump and now to us moving into the whole Biden administration, do you think that, there's a possible hopeful outlook for turning everything around for our
Yeah,
community?
honestly, yeah, yeah. I honestly do. Like a lot of people talk about a return to normalcy. Now that the the Trump era is done. At least it seems so. And I hope that we look at this opportunity as something greater than a return to normalcy, because
Because
normalcy in
normal wasn't
America
that
for a
good.
black man was nothing to return to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I hope that we look at this as an opportunity to reinvent. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, like the whole planet got shut down. Like waters got cleansed literally. Like there was dolphins and in Italy, you know what I'm saying? Like in going up the canals, you know what I'm saying? Like that hadn't happened
Right.
in 40, 50 years because
Right.
over this COVID year, waters got cleaned. I
Mm-hmm.
hope we give ourselves a chance to be clean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I hope we give our chance ourselves to reinvent some of the things that have existed. We don't we better than normal. We've been better than normal.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that, like we get a chance to also see that damn near half of the country voted for Trump and support Trump. That says a lot. That's a real character statement. You know what I'm
That
saying?
shows you
That
who
means that,
America really is.
Yep.
right, real talk.
And who we've
Real
been.
talk.
Who we've
It's
been,
as
really.
American
Yeah,
as
yeah,
apple
yeah,
pie.
yeah, yeah. Because it was because we knew that existed, but I don't think we knew that existed to the extent that it does.
They didn't
But
know.
yeah,
They
Right.
real
didn't know.
talk, real
They
talk.
thought
You
that
know
we
what?
were exaggerating up until recently.
Right.
real. But that's privilege. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Those that knew. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing is privilege. But you know what I'm saying? But they didn't know something too, just
hmm
like we didn't know. And
right.
and that's this. Look how powerful our vote was. Our
Mm-hmm.
vote was the deciding factor. Look what
Right.
happens when we stick together. Look at our
Yep.
ability to change. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And I dare say that, like we wasn't even fully on code. You know what I'm saying? Black women probably were a little more on code than our entire community was. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
as
And
usual. As
I mean,
usual.
but let's make that what it should be. Like that was just a microcosm of what we can apply to healthcare. That was a microcosm of what we can
Right.
apply to education. That was a microcosm of what we can apply to our wages. Like
Mm-hmm.
we got the power
Right.
to shut shit down. Just like we got the
Yeah.
power to build things up when we're on code together. And I dare say something else. Yo, half of the country that's messing with dude, they don't really care for dude to that degree. They're just on code. That's their
Yeah.
code. You know what
Sticking
I'm
to the
saying?
code.
Like yeah, they're sticking to because that's what it's been. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
It's not that they believe so much in dude, they're just sticking to code like we need to. And that's not
Yep.
to say that there needs some kind of race war. Nah, at this point, nah, because we don't have to. We already know who we are. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Like that would be us stooping down. To fight them is us belittling ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
It's time for us to organize. It's time for us to stay together and for us to illustrate just what we did with this vote.
Just how powerful we
Who
really
we
are.
are, how powerful, right?
Right.
How powerful we are. It's time, we got more black millionaires in the world than ever before. What
Mm-hmm.
happens when 100 millionaires put money into something that goes back into our community? We've never done that before.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like it's time for us to start looking at each other and not feel like we can't trust each other. It's time for us to stop looking at each other and hurting each other. We hurt each other, but we ain't never done nothing to the people that hurt us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
no.
yo,
You said a
on the real,
mouthful right there.
and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for
That's how
us
they use
to look
hip
at
hop
each
also.
other and see brothers, and see family, and come together and sit down at the table with a plan, and we all believe in it, and we all stick on code, and even of those of us that doubt, stick on
Still got
code.
to stick to the code.
Right.
Right.
And it ain't nothing that's gonna hurt us. It's something that's gonna build us. And we just gotta believe in it. We just gotta believe in each other. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going back to that vote. That's a microcosm of how powerful we are.
Mhm.
When we stick together, we can change the world. We changed the world. They didn't do that. We did that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Word,
If it
regardless
was
of who
left up
say
to them,
what.
he'd have got another 4 years.
You know what I'm saying? Word, regardless of who say what, we did that. What else can we
But
do?
we also got the naysayers that say, "Oh, our votes don't count, our voice don't count."
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
now it should be more obvious than ever why they say that. Look at
Mm-hmm.
everything that's transpired when we just say I'm not voting for either one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now we have no say in the matter. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just
We just
having
had
to
to rock with
accept
it.
whatever trickles
Right.
our way. And whatever trickles our way is really out of them feeling sorry for us.
Yep.
No more of that. We don't need your handout. We
Right.
we built this.
Yeah.
We're the founders of civilization.
Mhm.
They learn more from us even now. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then man, listen.
They just
It's time for us to
capitalized
be
on
who
it.
we are.
Right.
Yeah, right. Because they're structured to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. Because they're on
Their
code.
system ain't
That's
broken.
the
Their
only
system doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
right.
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 We're talking about a broken
Exactly.
system.
We
The
just
system
fall
ain't
a
Right.
broke.
victim
You know?
to it
It's doing
repeatedly.
what it's
That's the
supposed to do.
problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And every time we started coming together, they dismantle it.
Oh yeah.
They literally killed
Kill
But
the
our
see,
head.
that's where we
they
need to be
literally
10
bombed.
times stronger
They
with the
kill the
comeback.
head. They kill the head every
Right.
time.
Right. Right. But you
And
know what
tell you
though?
they
It's a
did it
different
and
day.
give them a holiday.
Yeah. Yo. Yo, this is my word. When they killed Martin Luther King, he was an enemy.
Cause you know
They
why?
literally looked at
Cause you
him
know why?
as
You know why? He
yeah, I
started
know.
coming for the money. He started
Mm-hmm.
coming for the
Oh,
money.
without question. Without question. And and he wasn't coming alone.
Mm-mm.
You
Right.
know?
Mm-mm.
Word up. Like yo, it's real. You know what I'm saying? But we are now in a position where I dare say maybe more than ever before in history that the world is paying attention,
Right.
that the world is smaller, like the world marked behind our struggle. But this time, there's a big difference this time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone can see right now. Like maybe the technology has brought everything to everybody's right into your palm of your hand. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so let's take advantage of what it is. And when I say take advantage, that doesn't mean ask. That means us move together and
Right.
create. It's time for us to create art.
We
And
scared
we
of unity,
got
man.
everything we need
We scared
Right.
of unity.
except unity. Right,
Yeah, we are.
right,
We are. We scared
right.
we might actually
But
succeed at the
but
motherfucker. That's the problem.
it's systemic. It's systemic.
Mm-hmm.
It's been programmed into us.
Yep.
Been
That's why
erased.
we have projects in every city. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That's like it's systemic. It's generation after generation after generation of what I'm saying what's
Programming.
been force fed. Like they separated us in slavery to the degree that the three of us could be related.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Literally.
Right.
And and we don't see that in each other.
Mm-mm.
Right.
And it's time that we end. That's theirs.
Yeah.
That was never ours. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So us realizing that makes it a better day. Just us realizing that alone makes it a
Mm-hmm.
better day. So when you see a brother, when you see a sister, like it gives you a better understanding. They
Right.
can't offend you no more than you can offend them. Y'all are together. Y'all on the same team.
Right.
Time to recognize that. That's a teammate. That's not
Not only
someone
recognize
trying
it,
to
but they
prevent.
need to act on it.
Act on it. Yeah.
Right.
Because
Recognize
you
it.
could recognize it all
What's
you
up?
want to, but if you don't put action to it, it means nothing.
Right. I agree.
You're right.
So,
I agree. No
I
doubt.
mean, and not only
No
that,
doubt.
I mean, it's also up to us to try to further educate our brother and sister and so on and so forth. Even if you got 10 people in the room and you try to educate them and only 2 people out of that 10 took away from what the hell you taught them,
It was
that too
worth
will
it.
go on to teach
It
another
was worth
20
it.
people, and they might reach 5 people, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If we just
Real
keep
talk.
doing that, we'll be all right.
Yeah. Because
And,
everybody ain't
that's
gonna
the
make
name
it.
of the game.
Right.
Everybody ain't gonna make it. Everybody ain't.
No, and we're
Yeah,
gonna have
yeah.
to leave those
Everybody's
ones
not.
behind.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Right, right.
Once we realize
Yeah,
that, we'll be all
we
right.
send a bus back for him. It's all good. You know what
Maybe
I'm
later.
saying?
Maybe
We
not even
send a
send the
bus
bus
back for
back.
him,
Let's
but we got to get
just
where he
leave them
going.
sitting at the bus stop. Just let them sit there. Because clearly they didn't need to be on the bus in the first time if they didn't
Hey,
get
Yeah,
especially
it.
if they're
yeah.
gonna bring us down once we send the buses for them.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Because all
Right.
Right.
skin folk ain't kinfolk.
You know,
Okay. And sometimes you can't invite everybody
without
to the
question.
damn cookout.
Without
Let
question.
their ass go somewhere to the McDonald's or something to eat. You don't need to come
Right.
with us.
Stay where
So,
you at.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
But I want
yeah.
to
You
ask,
know,
I asked this
at no point in
question.
history.
Go ahead.
No, no. Go ahead. I'm listening. What question?
No, I wanted to ask you because I asked everybody this who has come on the platform. If tomorrow is never promised, especially in what we're living in right now. What would you want your legacy to be remembered as, and why?
Um, mm, that he was dope, and and he and every day he got better. Simple. You know,
That's dope.
word. That'd be good.
That's
Every
dope.
day he got better.
That's
I
dope.
like that.
All right.
Yo,
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
because
like
at the
that
end of the
too.
day,
yeah.
that's.
You
I
need to
mean,
put that
because
on a
like
t-shirt.
we're
That was
never
pretty
gonna be.
dope.
That's dope within itself.
Yeah. Yeah, put that on a t-shirt. I'll
I mean,
buy it. Let me
because
get one of those.
all right.
If he don't do it, I'm
I
gonna
mean,
do it.
that's what it's about to me. All right.
Right.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know what you do, and give me a commission. It's all good.
Say less. Say
Okay.
less.
You
Say
know what I'm
no
saying? Word
more.
up. Let's get it. Let's get it. No doubt. And it's my word, like, because that's what it's about to me. You know what I'm saying? Like we not gonna be everything that we're supposed to be,
Right.
but but
Be what you can.
we supposed to be headed in that direction.
Right.
So so let's get better. Let like it's okay to get better. Matter of fact,
Right.
the best people do. You know,
Right.
Keep
word
getting
up.
better. Look at
And
Tom
you
Brady.
can't get better
Yeah,
without always educating yourself. We don't always know everything, but if
Right.
as the day
word.
progresses and as the hours and so on and so forth, the more you educate yourself, the more you can better yourself and better your brother and sister.
Sounds good. That's real. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's all about. You know,
Pretty much.
and and for us to to stand on each other's shoulders. Like a lot of times we look at it like we got to do everything ourselves. Like, yo,
Hmm.
we are the descendants of greatness.
You better
Literally,
believe it.
and don't and anybody that ever says anything to the contrary is a sucker. We are the
Yep.
descendants of greatness. Stand on them shoulders the same way the younger generations are to stand on yours. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Word up. Be who you are. Word up. Be proudly be who you are. Word up. We are the descendants of greatness. Word up. And 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 we did it not because we did it despite. Word up.
Hmm.
Right.
Word up. We did it despite. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if it had been a level playing field. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we still did it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Word up.
Right.
Let's just keep getting better.
Right. And it's no excuse not to now. I mean, we have so much options in this day and age. Like I'm so tired of the whole blame the white man, theory at
Excuse.
this day and age. At some time,
Yo,
we gotta take accountability at some
man,
point.
my whole life I've looked at them like they can't stop me. I'm mad.
Okay.
I'm looking at white man like imagine you stop me. Yeah, nah,
I
that
mean,
ain't
and
gonna
this is not like a
happen.
racist thing or race war.
Yeah, nah,
They
nah,
feel
yeah.
the same
It's
about
just what it
us.
is. Word up.
Stop playing the victim.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
See,
nah.
there you go.
Yeah. Life's too short.
Right.
Yes.
Sure. Figure it out. You know?
Right.
And and that's what chess is. It's chess, not checkers.
Okay.
Like when you on the board, the board is not structured for it to be a cakewalk. It's not structured for you to not lose pawn, you
Mm-hmm.
not lose a rook, for you to not pay attention,
Right.
not take advantage of opportunities. The board isn't
Mm-hmm.
structured for anything less but you being a master. So pay attention, play the game for real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be played whether or not you're good. It's
Right.
It's
still going to be
literally a
played.
whole critical thinking game.
Right,
Period.
right.
and pass that to the seeds that they start playing younger, that they start seeing things,
Yeah.
that they stand on your shoulders, that they're sharp. If you were sharp at 20, let them be sharp at 12. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and it keeps getting passed down till we get to where we're going. We're gonna get there. That's without question, because
Right.
that's where we're going. Right.
I know that's right.
You know?
Well, I want to, for one, thank you for
Yes,
preaching,
sir.
because,
Ah.
sir, you came up here
So,
like you was a whole pastor and preached the message,
yeah.
okay?
Uh, we were just chatting. I just had a few life experiences that I could share. That's all.
I know
Right.
that's right. And it was refreshing. Let me say
Yeah.
that.
Peace.
Yeah. Good.
Also, I want to give you this opportunity to give out any shout outs to maybe your kids, wife, whoever.
You know what? I'm a shout out to the whole hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? If you take the words hip hop and you flip it backwards, it's people. Hip hop's always been about like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't matter what color, that doesn't matter what gender, what sexuality, none of that matters. What matters is that we're like-minded, that we're moving together. And even in our community, like, you know, like, we need allies. It ain't like we don't need allies. Hip hop
Right,
is our ally, and if you're a member of hip hop,
Right.
then you with us. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about having a like mind, and being fair and being just, and being true. You know. So that being said, I'm gonna give a big shout to the whole hip hop community. Much love.
I know that's right. That's love.
Right.
That's dope.
Uh,
Can you tell us once again, for the people that missed it in the beginning, how we can contact your music, anything in between?
yeah, definitely. I'm on IG at Black Sheep Dres, on Twitter at Dres Black Sheep, and my website is poolofgenius.com. Pool of Genius, all one word.com. And that's where the music, videos, merch, you know what I'm saying? Definitely stay in touch, follow. I'll follow back. It's all love. I'm very, very easy to approach, talk to, and laugh with. Huh.
All I want to know is when you coming down to the South so we could get some of this good music.
Um,
Cause
my mom lives in Carolina. Where you at?
I'm in
I'm in Myrtle
Carolina and
Beach.
he's in South Carolina.
I'm in Myrtle
In
Beach.
South? Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
Myrtle
that's
Beach.
what's up.
Hmm.
Myrtle Beach is dope. I played golf down there a bunch of times. South Carolina, a lot of love. My mom's in North Carolina. You know, so I get back. You know, I come back and forth, and as soon as we get through with this situation, this COVID, where we really can move around, I'm trying
Right.
to go everywhere I can performing this new project. So I hope to be down there sometime this summer.
Shoot, just let us
Cool.
know. We'll come through.
Cool.
Yep.
Pull up.
What's up?
Most definitely.
That's what's up. Shoot, let's put a show together. You know, like, yo, I'm all about us doing it from this point. Now that I know
Right.
the things that I know, shoot, it don't take nothing to, you know, the
Yeah.
whatever
I got
auditorium is in, you know, down it. It
I
don't.
got some I got
Yeah,
some
we could
venues here
definitely
we
do
can get
that.
that done.
Yo,
I got some
straight
Yeah,
up.
venues
but
here we can get that
We
done.
grab the radio station.
yeah.
That's the type of energy that we need to start having now. There's so many things that we can do amongst our circles. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, you know, like, yo, it's time for us to really start pushing the envelope. Yo,
Yeah, we
let's
could
say,
definitely do that. We got
yeah,
a lot of the same contacts, me and you, so we could
oh,
definitely do that.
yeah, I mean, this got booked through MJ, right?
Yeah,
MJ's amazing. I love MJ.
she is
Yo,
a sweetheart. Well, shout out to MJ, because
shout out to
Shout out to
MJ.
MJ.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
baby girl be
also, like
working.
I said, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, once I definitely want to come back when the music comes out. But yeah, once we get closer to this coming out, like, yeah, let's just reach out, you know what I'm saying? Let's put something together. I'm down, man. Like, I'm the easiest dude in the world to rock with. I done seen enough that I know what it looks like when it looks right, you
I
know?
know
Right.
that's right. Y'all make sure y'all go follow this man. He is, I will say this, he is hilarious. He do a lot of jokes on his page. He a whole clown. So please go
Yo.
follow him. Again, thank you for gracing the culture. We're gonna have you back when that album drops, because
Sounds
we're
good.
gonna need them singles bumping in the car for
Yo,
one.
Yeah.
let's make it happen. Word up.
And Doe, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to give your shout outs as well.
Hey, y'all just holler at me, man. I'm on all social media platforms at dissects 843 or Doe Show or Dope Dishes with Doe.
Good stuff.
Y'all check
Yep.
him out too. He always making some dope dishes. I still ain't get a plate, but
All
Pull up.
you know,
right.
I gotta pull up to get a plate.
I don't
That's what's
deliver.
up.
You don't deliver. I thought you like Pizza Hut, like you just,
All right. Speaking of pizza, I'm gonna get back to mine. I'm about to go heat mine up.
All
Yo,
right, y'all. So this
thanks
has
so
been an
much for having me.
episode of Set for the Culture, and we out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow night with special guest Michael Stemley. Y'all probably know him. If y'all don't know him, best-selling author in New York right now. He's done amazing things. He's had an illustrious career. We'll see you tomorrow night around 7.
All
Y'all
right.
have a good night.
Peace.